Power episode 3, Raising Kanan, keeps getting better. And when you've got great cinematic quality like this...
How Nick's dick taste, detective?
Better than yours, Raquel.
I got something for you. Nick's re-up. Or is Nick's meat so far down your throat you can't talk to me no more?
Nah, I want to know everything. But why are you blessing me with this info?
I mean, you police, right? You police. I'm reporting a crime.
What can you say? But man, they might can do so many Power Universe stories. I'm gonna have a YouTube career forever just on this one show. If you're finding me for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so when I drop videos, you get them. You know we do more than just review Power and TV shows. We do pop culture, we do Marvel. I'm splintering my other channel to do more of the financial because I've helped a lot of people with their stocks and their real estate. If you're not subscribed to that channel, check out the link in the description. If you want to join us live on a Friday night with friends to cover anything we do on this channel, hit me up on Instagram. First thing we see when they open up, the corner. Corner is hot. Block is hot. We got Officer Crooked Letter chasing down my man who is at the stash house for the Stark family. Now, if they would have let his chubby ass catch my man, I would have said that's not realistic. But he didn't. And the way that Crooked Cop was unable to catch him let me know already that there was more than the fact that he's chubby. That there was something going on, and they did reveal that later on in the show. And then we see Rock getting out of bed with Symphony Basket, who has just been laying the wood on her ass like he's an NBA team with the hardwood. And she is enjoying it, that dick left to right, grinning ear to ear. So big you get your ears wet. We see Kanan, who is looking at the eulogy for D. Weave, and then he catch D. Weave using his Macintosh. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Apple for my young folks. And I actually thought what Symphony Basket said to Kanan was cool about, you know, I would be upset if I seen some grown dude naked in my mama's house. But, you know, Rock kind of chastised him for that. And I thought that was inappropriate on her part because Symphony didn't really intervene that much other than to say he understood what Kanan was going through, because he would be going through that if he's seen somebody in the room with his mama who happens to be as hot as Rock. But they did later address that and made amends. Then we see who is going to be the new police detective, and these dynamics we see on this show are consistent with pretty much all the Power shows. But they keep switching up the story, which keeps making it good. Some of you guys don't understand why they do this, but hell, we've seen ER go 20 some odd seasons. We've seen that other Law and Order go like 30 some odd seasons with the same foundation. They just switch up the stories. There's no reason why Power can't do it. And Captain is just chastising Crooked Cop and my homegirl, the Snow Bunny, which you all by now know that I like her and I see good things with her. But basically because they raided the corner boys, they ain't really getting nothing and they need more. He's like, you know, we need more out of y'all. Y'all got to do your business. You ain't doing it well. Come to me when you can get something real. And then we see Homeboy, who's been in a lot of different shows. He is the boss. He is the one that supplies Unique. He supplies Rock. He supplies a lot of corners on the South Side. And right now, Rock is just thinking, look, man, I got to come up with something. My corners is getting empty. I got to make a play. I've got to refortify my business. So she goes in there. I thought she was making a deal with him, but in all honesty, she's making a deal with his henchman. And you see Rock leaving with the henchman, who I've started getting kind of American gangster vibe. Homeboy talking about going down to North Carolina and South Carolina as if he was your boy straight from American Gangster. But they did finish this storyline out, and we'll get to that later on. We get back to Crooked Cop, and come to find out he's got cancer that is advancing so bad, his ass is going to have to get back up with his family members to get bone marrow transplanted. And he's basically telling Doctor, look, lady, don't nobody in my family like my ass. I'm the black sheep because we had some issues with property. I'm sure they're going to get more into that story, Because you would think when someone sees their life flash beneath them, flash in front of them, that whatever dastardly deeds they've done, whatever behavior they've had in the past, it would make them get right. But for him, doesn't seem like it's going to do that. And then he gets back in the car with the other officer, the other detective, and he's just really chastising her. And I actually, for the first time, was on his side in the way he was giving it to her about what is your real motivation for being a cop. Earlier in this episode, when she was trying to arrest one of the dudes on the corner, they ain't have no respect for her. They was actually picking on her. And you got a sense of that right here in this exchange with her and Crooked Cop about what really is it. Your ass was supposed to be a nurse, and then you followed your family's bloodline to become a cop. So maybe this could be the pivoting moment where we get deeper into her character and learn just what are her motivations for being a police officer. Then we get Juke and her white girlfriend. And they're going to some kind of place where you can sing, and they record it for you. And I guess you can have that disc and use it as something to get you catapulted to the America's Got Talent or something. And Juke is up there on stage scared as hell. And this is when they revealed that her white girlfriend got the golden pipes. Did y'all hear that chick? Symphony orchestra singing. I was like, damn. She blew the handle off that thing and got Jukebox comfortable. Jukebox started singing. But shortly after that, Jukebox and her were walking together, and Jukebox got a page that, you know, her shipment of stuff they got to steal to sell was in. And the white girl was trying to have an inflection point moment with Juke and was like, look, don't do that. Stay with me. And Juke was like, nah, I got to go. I'll call you later. And I'm sure something dealing with this white girl is what catapulted Juke into being a police and not singing. We'll get that story as they flesh it out. Then we get to Uncle Marvin, and we're calling this young lady Snow Bunny. And she's starting to have feelings for Marvin, especially after he was her knight in shining armor, as she said right here in this scene. But ladies and gentlemen, she promotes parties. She's the hype girl for these parties. She's promoter. Look at her damn office. She's got a Macintosh. She's got a big ass baby bottle in her office. Then she's got prop cigarettes in her office. I mean, damn, this chick doing it up big. Marvin done brought her a Rottweiler that someone had to pay off. He named the Rottweiler LT. He's giving it to Snow Bunny. And then Snow Bunny, in true white woman fashion, drops to the knees, gave my man some head. And I'm not saying y'all sisters can't give good BJs, as white girls call it, but they stereotype white women for it. That's the one thing that they do that's very, very well. And I'm just going to go along with the stereotype just for this show. And then we see Kanan back at the stash house with old boy that got away, who's basically telling you the height of his intelligence. He got away from Officer Crooked Cop and kept his shoes clean, talking about his Jordans. And Kanan makes what I think is a grave mistake. He sees Davina walking by, and he runs out there from the stash house to meet Davina, and she's asking questions, as I would too, because the house looks raggedy as hell, like a crack house, like Davina said. Kanan, this is a rookie mistake, my G. Leave me comments if you guys think this is going to come back to bite Kanan in the ass. I do. And they're just having a conversation about what happened with D Weave, what happened to Buck 20. Kanan lies to her teeth. But then you see, they look down on her little sister, and they got a damn drill bit packed in the stroller with the kid. That's going to come back into the story, ladies and gentlemen. The mama's hacking everything. I don't think they've officially came out and let us know that the mom is a crackhead and that they're struggling that bad because the mom's got an addiction, but I'm sure they will. Then we get to Rock in the church with the henchman of the big boss, and she's basically selling my man a dream. My man said he's got a wife, he's got a couple of side pieces, he need to move them all to South Carolina. I can tell y'all asses right now, he ain't going to no South Carolina. When his boss find out that he's the one that told Rock about the drug deal, he's going to be dead. There ain't going to be no going to South Carolina. But she pays the man off for the information to let Rock know where Unique Drop is going to be. But you can cool kiss goodbye him going to South Carolina. And then we get Juke robbing the U-Haul with her clothes, and then one of the people that's with Juke beats up homeboy cop. Well, I'm not even gonna say he's a cop. I think he might just be maybe the security for the mall, wherever they're at. And instead of letting homeboy beat him to death, Jukebox pulls out her box cutter and threatens homeboy. And I think that was a lot because he called her out of her name and all that. But at the same time, Juke, you let this dude live, he's probably going to be a problem for you later. And we've already seen from the summer trailer reviews that he is going to push Jukebox up against the wall at some point in time. Now, the question is going to be, is he going to have the same level of empathy and deference for Juke that Juke showed for him to let him stay alive? Then we get the scene with Rock and Crooked Cop. Now, I kind of thought this might have been a mistake on Crooked Cop's part because we already know, this might have been a mistake on Rock's part to Crooked Cop because we know Crooked Cop is all behind Unique. And you see they have a banter going back about whose dick is in whose throat the most. And she gives the dime on where Unique's information products is going to be dropped off at. Will this come back to bite Rock in the butt? In this episode, absolutely not, because Crooked Cop is desperate. He needs to find something of substance for his captain. And you've seen how this thing ended. He did go after the tip, and we'll see where it goes. And then we finally get to meet Crown Comanche, whose talent is making music, and he's in here waiting for his snowfall to come, which is brought to him by Lulu and Lulu Boothang, who happens to be Famous' sister. Now, while they're in there, you can see Lulu is trying to keep the distance between Crown Comanche, who's hitting on Famous' sister, and we also learned that Lulu know a thing or two about music. But the thing is, Crown Comanche don't know shit about music. He just is the one financing the whole organization. And while she's in there, Famous' sister is trying to put Famous up on some game, trying to get him some studio time. We'll see where this is going. They didn't set all that up for nothing. I wonder if there's going to be a beef between Crown Comanche popping Famous' sister because Famous' sister is going to be trying to help Famous out so much. We'll see where they go with that. And then we get the clip that came straight from the trailer. Marvin meeting up with Kanan. And basically they both saying we're out on Rock's list. You know, Rock got Kanan posted up in the stash house so he can stay off the street. Marvin is not allowed to be in the plans of most of the big business Rock has for the organization. So they team up. And basically Kanan is going to help ingratiate Marvin to Rock. And Marvin is going to give Kanan some of his stepped-on drugs to go sell in the street. We'll see how this goes because Rock is probably going to be mad as hell when she find out. And then we get the little touching scene where I thought at some point in time Jukebox was going to come clean to Rock about being gay, but she didn't. All that came from this whole little meeting between Rock and Jukebox was that they both are smitten for somebody because they both grin their ear to ear so big that their ears is getting wet all the way to the eardrums. I wonder if they're going to have another touching meeting like this. But I also think this was significant to shows that even back in those days, Rock was down for empowering women. She was all in for that and seeing that women step to the forefront, and she's holding it down with Juke. And then we get Famous' sister outside with Lulu. And she's basically telling Lulu, look, dude, your life is bigger than what you're doing with your sister. I see talent in you. I see you could do something in the music game. And Lulu's just kind of like, girl, what you talking about? How you know this about me? Blah, blah, blah. Now, fellas, you got to admit, there are several times there's been a great woman that's whispered in your ear a great plan that could really turn and set you up for life. We'll see if he listens to it, but this could be the plan to set him up for life. Do I think he's going to listen to it? Probably not. And if he does, it's going to be at the detriment of Rock. And then we get back to a meeting with Captain, Crooked Cop, and my other favorite snow bunny on this show. And basically they're coming to the captain with the information that he got from Rock. And the cop wants him to give up Rock, and he ain't trying to give it up. But they do stage a coup with a smaller group of cops. And I like how Snow Bunny stuck her neck out for Crooked Cop this time, because if she wouldn't have done that, the captain probably wouldn't have gave them the clearance to go with their team and infiltrate the coming meetup with Unique and the drop. And then we get to the park scene where we've got Famous, we've got Kanan, and we've got Jukebox. And this is the divergence of where this story is going to go with all three of these characters. Jukebox is going to continue to sell stolen clothing. Kanan, this was about to be his first drug deal. And Famous is going to get into the music business as a hip hop artist. And while they're on this corner, each one of them does their own thing. Famous goes over there, raps his ass off. Jukebox goes over there and sells to a guy that she called the cops. And then Kanan got his first taste of life in the drug game. Just with these three individuals, you can have great stories, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't wait to see how they tie these stories up into this one story on Power. And then we get our rug burn scene where Symphony Basket is tearing that Rock ass up again on the carpet. Now, a couple of episodes ago on my show, I talked about getting down on these carpets and how to get your ass rug burned. Well, what was going on with here, there should be some torn skin, because look at the look on their face. I mean, straight exhalation, straight exaltment. They both look like they're very satisfied. And I thought that this was a good exchange between them, because they talked about, Rock was like, look, I don't need no one to save me from what I'm doing. I just need someone to be my vacation. And Symphony Basket seems like he's cool with it for now. But the thing that gave me pause was, you know, she done put some of that them good on him, and now he always want to know where we going. Are we going to be a relationship? And ladies and gentlemen, look, everything usually starts out well when you make a plan and you set out that, like, we're just going to be this, that, and the third. But you can't stop your feelings from getting involved. Now, the difference is, how do you involve those feelings? Or do you going to adhere to the plan that we set out to do? And I think there's going to be some real turmoil here, ladies and gentlemen, because at some point in time, because these two's lives are so separate, they're going to have to cross. Either Rock is going to become cool and legit, or Symphony is going to become crooked and get into Rock's game, or they're going to have to split. I can't wait to see where they go with this, because it's going somewhere. And then we get Davina outside her home, because Kanan done brought her some goodies to help her out in her situation. And, you know, they had their first kiss, and she said, you ain't had to do it for me. But, you know, Kanan's a little sweet on her. Part of the reason why Kanan need to make some money is because he want to hustle for himself, and he want to start having some ends to try to show Davina the good side of things and take the place of $120. And then we see Officer Crooked Cop stage it outside where we got the dudes trying to do the drop for Unique, and they in there listening to them Paula Abdul talking about she's a Jew and shit, and I'm just like, bruh, y'all doing too much inside this car. They pan to a van that Crooked Cop clearly says, look, you cannot have a foggy window. And ladies and gentlemen, sure enough, that foggy window is the thing that gave away this drop. And so before they could even get the drop finished, one of the people calls and said it's the 5-0 is here. And then we off into a full out chase where the police officers slam into the car at the stoplight. But did you guys see the expression on Crooked Cop's face? He ain't looked like he was too pleased at what happened, as if something went wrong. Maybe people died in the car, something went awry. We'll see where that goes. And then they end the episode on Rock going to Dee Wee's mom's house with Kanan to pray. And I think this pretty much just shows just how deviant Rock can be. I mean, you set up the stages for this boy to die, and now she's playing the part as if she ain't have nothing to do with it, which is what she has to do because there's nothing else she really can do. And praying with the mama, crying with the mama. Kanan is over there sick. You in between your son, this is one of his best friends, he's crying. You with the mama of the person you killed, she's crying. What kind of mentality do you have? I guess this is the mentality you have to have when you're in the drug game. And then we get Lulu and Marvin staking out the corners, looking to see that damn Unique ain't got nothing going on this block because he ain't got no goods to pursue the block. And then we see Unique riding by, mad as hell, knowing who done this to his organization. So ladies and gentlemen, leave me all your comments on this first episode, what you thought. I will be having 2 reviews this week, Tuesday night with the homegirls, and then Wednesday night with the full crew. Be sure to come check us out because we try to go live and we try to get a little bit more in-depth than my quick review. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get yourself that life game. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. If you ever want to join us for Friday Night with Friends, hit me up on the DMs and Instagram. Till that next Sex is Hell video, I'll see you.